just left only letters like a Word document. Okay?
Yes, thank you.
And I'm going
Sorry
to-
about that. That was my mistake.
No, because Miguel and me will format all the document at the end.
Okay, good.
I'm going to share this a bit here.
You can see that if you go to module 3, I've written there the footnote mistake. So there's the right one, and then there's the one with the footnote mistake.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you can fix that, it would be great.
This is the good one. Okay.
No, that's the bad one because it says
this is the bad one.
Yes.
And the good one, which is
that one, yeah.
This, the template, no?
I think it's the one module 3, planning video-based learning with the persona.
This,
yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't it so, Jarkko? You remember better than I do.
Yeah, where this footnote mistake is written, so that was the problematic version.
Yeah, problematic one. Yeah.
Vale. Okay, so the first things I am going to explain a little the modules because
one second, Loida. I think it's better if Marta does the presentation now, no?
Okay, yes, because
if you want to introduce her, if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, but just introduce because I need some information about the product.
Well, first thing, Marta is the person that is the teacher that is specialized in the audiovisual area, and she's working as a teacher in vocational education training in the high school Berlanga, and she's coming with us to Finland. Marta, whenever you want, you can introduce.
Okay. Hello, I'm Marta. I'm a teacher for vocational training. So now this year I'm teaching sound recording and sound installation, but I teach for a lot of years production in the IES Berlanga. I don't know what more information do you need.
Nothing else. You have to prepare everything for the travel in Finland, and then you will know better everybody. And thanks for helping us, Marta, because she's working out of his timetable of classes. So thanks a lot. Well, here the first thing is everybody can go to the folder PaviVedu package 3. I think no problem. And then first thing, instruction for partners. Here you have an example of the module 3 of how we have to fill it up. Anywhere we have created up to the module 7. And we will keep going this week to finish it. And what you have to do is go inside every folder of every module and fill up the parts where the name of the partner appears. Okay. Here you have the instructions where you can see that there is an example. You can choose the format wherever you want, because then we will, just one person, Miguel and me, will give the final structure and format. Okay. And here is the first document that we created to see the task that every partner had to do. Okay. And I come back because I would like to be more or less fast. And the question for Alexander. Alexander, as we have to create a guide around 11 pages, I was telling to Jarkko that the module 1 and 2, we could do a summarize, not putting all what we have created in the here, but just module 1 and 2 could be a summary before the module 3. What do you think? Alexander? Or
I have to unmute. Yeah, I think it's already quite short.
Okay.
I mean, the short version is even even shorter. It's only 3 pages or so. I asked
Perfect.
Marcus if it's anything like usable easy language, but otherwise I mean, we could skip the competences, but in general, I think it's a useful introduction, and it doesn't cost us anything to leave it.
Okay, so perfect. If there are 2 pages already, so we can leave that like that. Here in the module 3, as you can, well, I go here first for you to see it. Here you can see that it's a module 3 planning video-based learning, and here we detail that the partners that have to fill up something inside every module. Okay, so when we go here to the module, here is the right one. I will delete because Mina has a little problem, but she did a good job. But I will delete the files that are not worth it. Okay. Here you can see we have an introduction, and for example, I wanted that Specia because in the first module as example, Mina, we decided to put the competencies, ¿vale? As you can see here. But I would like that Jarko and Mina, that are the ones who made these competence descriptors, that you were the ones who choose the competence, the right competence for every module. Do you think it's okay? Or
Yes, we have already done it for the modules 2 and 3.
Perfect.
We have already done it, and it should be in the Word document, not in this one, because I was a bit afraid of this one. So it's in the Word document, in template.
Vale. Okay, yes. So I will delete the other 2, and this is the one. Okay.
Oh, yeah. And you can see it. It will be, I don't know how to make it shorter. We have to see the whole thing at first. How many pages will the whole guide be? How long can we write? How many examples can we give? Or should we put it in the, how long can it be?
I think Alexander said 11 pages, but what we could do is
altogether 11 pages.
Mina, we could add, for example, examples or quizzes or whatever in annex. ¿Cómo se dice anexos?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know in English, I forgot. Annexes?
Yeah.
It's the same. Jarkko has something to say.
Yeah, okay. I was just thinking it would be so user-friendly when we had first in summer this huge report. It was a great report, 167 pages, and now when we have kind of already detailed modules, so they have a lot of information. So just in case if we had a little extra money on monthly basis, about 100 euros or so, it would be so nice to have this large language module chatbot that it should be quite easy to put on the web page, and it finds the data from our reports in every language. But this is kind of extra, and it's kind of innovation. And also we could have the video guides made by Marcus, and then we could have this large language module chatbot. If you ask about any student persona, so there would be some information about that. But I understand it's out of scope of this project. It's not very costly, but that's very user friendly way when we have very good reports, but how to present them for let's say any teacher. So no time to read 200 pages, but ask relevant questions, and then you get the relevant information from that large language model chatbot. But it should be easy to build, but then the monthly cost is something to maintain it. But that's just idea how maybe next time we could arrange the things.
I have to admit that I've used a lot of Copilot in this case, and it has given very good examples of many things. So I'd love to use some of them, and I don't know if 11 pages will be enough. Let's see. Let's try to squeeze it together, so to say, in this Word document or in this guide. And I also have a little bit problems to find out who this guide is used for. Is it for students, or is it for the catalysts, or is it for the facilitators?
Well,
Because there's a target group. In target group,
Mina-
it mentioned everybody. So I don't really know what to put there. Yeah,
no,
I put both catalysts, or I mean tutors, something for the tutors, and then another thing for the students. Yes.
Yes, catalysts and tutors is the same guide.
Yeah. But I mean, still
then
it's
after finishing this, we will do a short one for students,
okay.
just with the important information. Alexander.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. It's can go both ways. You can start with kind of an easy version for students in the chapters where it makes sense. For example, for the production of videos, there it would be mainly for the students, and then there are kind of didactical guides and hints for the catalysts.
Yes, that's what I found.
In other chapters, like in the introduction or so, I think it's actually really more for the catalyst. I tried to make an easy language version, but I'm not sure how useful it's for the students in the end. But from experience writing such guides, I would prefer actually in the first version to have not too strict limitations
And then
in
put it
the
on.
number of pages, because necessarily we will have kind of overlaps, and we have a big the problem is rather that we say not enough in some critical points, and a too short version in the end is not understandable. So if we agree on the content and we can sort out where to put which part, there will be some overlapping parts cut out anyway, but we can see that only after we have seen the material. And then the job is to, and by the way, this artificial intelligence does a quite good job on such things.
Yes, it does.
In the end, we can cut it down and have a more concise version. Yeah, but better to have a few pages more than missing critical parts, or not have enough explanation. And that's one point. The other point, what Jaakko said with this language model, I mean, I find my experiences with this using artificial intelligence are a bit mixed. On the one hand, it's quite fascinating because these things really produce readable texts. On the other hand, it's always a bit obvious. And I think the value we are adding here is the real authentic experiences of you who work with students with disabilities, and this should be clearly visible in the guide, so that we can have some obvious parts, like, I mean, how to do a video nowadays is not a secret. There are many guides about that, but how to do it with people with disabilities, this is experience that only you have, not the artificial intelligence. And and also, I think, I mean, there is the things that people know that they don't know, and people they don't know that they don't know, and so only relying on asking a chatbot about things assumes that you know the question. Yeah, and this is why introductory texts and kind of old-fashioned handbooks where you really cover a topic from A to Z as a first orientation, I think they are still useful, and we have experimented with kind of hyperlinked texts and so who are not really a book, which you should read from A to Z in other projects, and we always got the feedback in the end that it's quite confusing, and people would prefer a real book where they can browse through and have some general orientation and a framework, and then come back to detailed places and so, and I think so having about 100 pages about our topic will be good, and then we use the power of these AI things maybe to get more details about certain things, or to elaborate on some things, or to reference sources, and so there should be some interactivity, and I also think the money for sure is not the problem, and it would be quite interesting, but we should have these 100 pages as a first orientation.
Okay, Alexander, so if I have understood well, first we can reach 100 pages, and then we summarize around 11 or 20 pages for tutors and catalysts, and then another guide, very simple, for students. Is that what you mean?
No, we have about 100 pages for the catalyst, so a kind of small handbook.
Okay.
And for the students, for sure, it will be shorter. And so that we have about 10 pages per module, plus additional material, readings, quizzes, worksheets, and so on. But I mean, if you need only 5 pages to fully cover the topic of the module, of course, this is also welcome. But from experience, I think most of the time you will need more, because there is also pictures and graphics and so on. So it's not one space, 10 pages.
Then
text.
Only one guide for Catalyst of 100 pages, and another one of around 10, 11 pages for students and tutors, with annex. We could include, beside these 10 pages, exercises, quizzes, beside the guide.
Yeah, I mean, if it's really less space for the students, I don't know, because probably it will be much more visual.
Okay.
So will be more like a picture book, or there is more spacing between the text because it's simpler sentences or so. So I wouldn't think it necessarily is much shorter, but it will be much simpler.
Maxim, okay.
Alexander, for your information, the easy version, I can give it to our group for next week.
Okay.
I already looked on the document, and I think I can short some things a little bit, and then I give it to the group.
Yeah. You are the expert here. It was just I was just playing around with it a bit, and that's what I got.
But I think if I got one of these pages in the same form for every module, then I can give it to the group for plain language, and they can make a nice to look document with pictures and all. So
yeah, that would be super duper.
Okay, Marcus, then the short guide for a student, you will be in charge to do that?
yeah, but I need the information for every module.
Okay.
the main information, so as short as possible, and then I can translate it in plain language and add the pictures. But
So-
What I did was I gave my guide to ChatGPT 4.0 and said it should rewrite it in accessible language. And this was about twice the volume it's now. There was still quite complicated sentences. I tried to cut it down additionally. And then I gave this version to DeepL to translate it to German, and I went through it again. So I'm not a trained author for easy language, but yeah, okay. But Markus has this work group in his institution which does nothing else every day, and so that would be super nice if they could work on what we produce. But for a first version, if you're not yourself an expert in writing in plain language, this might be a way to go.
I've done it in such a way that I've set the Copilot to simplify, especially the competence descriptors, even for SNL. And they are all in the Word document that I've done so far. And I think it has done, I don't know easy language either. I am not a specialist on that, but I just told it to simplify so that it would be possible for a student to use. And you can take markers from the Word documents, what we've done and covered so far in Module 3. Module 3 is ready, but Module 2 is not.
okay.
And there is a special special part for students and another part for the other tutors, etc.
Okay.
But
Then I would use the part for the students.
yeah, you can see it in the document. It's clearly marked. And then if you said something about the questions too, I think Copilot at least does quite a good job. You have to dig deeper to find the examples. So you have to know what kind of script you give it to it, so you can get very good examples of many things that are really used in special education, etc. So, but it saves a lot of time. Of course, we're going to read through all of that before.
And I think it's better to write a short and most easy version. Then give it to AI, because you know better what is important for the students, and AI can't differentiate what is important for the teacher and what is important for the student. So I think the first try should be to simplify the guide, and then we can translate it. But you don't have to use an AI.
Yeah, I wrote in the script that how would you use this example from a student's point of view, and how would you use it as a teacher? And I think the answers are quite good, but you can take a look at them in, for example, in Module 2 in the Word document, what I've done so far.
Well, but now we have to decide what every partner has to do, okay? Because otherwise, for me, it's going to be hard to know what I have to do at the end. Because then the most important thing, I think, in Module 2, for example, we start with Module 2, okay? Here, because you deleted the other, okay, that's okay. Here, for example, is more or less finished, and we can summarize this, for example. So what we have to do is the partner that is going to make shorter the document has to write it down to avoid repeating the same work. Okay, for example, module 2, who is going to be in charge? Specia, no?
Yeah, but I have to see the whole guide before I can do that, because there are some things that are going like on top of each other, so there will be some repetition, I think.
Okay.
But Minna, we can do it like within this module. So
Yes, we can do it in module 2, yes.
Okay, and then the module 3, even though I will include what you put here, Minna, today, okay, I will include it in the document. But here we put some examples and more or less what Alexander said. What we haven't put yet is graphic or image, because we just wanted to decide first if what we have written here is okay for everybody, or and here we in every topic we have, if there is some partner that can give more or wide information, feel free to do it. Okay?
It's in the Word document.
In the other document, yeah, I know.
Yeah, in the Word document we have. Yeah.
Here, I know.
It's nice that we can work together on these Google documents. I will
Okay.
use the next week to see where we can add something.
Okay, so module 2 and module 3, we already know, we have already started working, and now we go to module 4. Here, there is always a document with the task, vale, that we have to do, and another document where we have developed the module, okay? And I put it like this, Minna, to avoid problems, okay? And so eventually we will make the structure. The structure and the format is not the important thing right now. Okay. Here we have created the objectives, but we are not the specialist. So we would like that. So Wibefo and whoever is specialized, Specia, review these goals. Okay. The competencies, we left always this topic for Specia, because they are the ones who created the competencies with the Digicom, and well, and the same with the other parts. Okay, the didactical principle for teaching students, we put some introduction to the UDL. And it's just to review this, and where we have asked more for collaboration is to add, for example, exercises for catalysts and tutors that probably you are going to use in Finland during the workshops. Because of that, I put here so Wibefo, KJF, even Specia, okay? And here we separated the suggested exercises for learners, but I didn't put any for teachers, that we could put some for teachers too. So just review this and feel free to add whatever you need, okay? And in every module, we have put recommended sources with the link and the references. This is important because then at the end it will be worth it to include all the references. Okay.
Is there a standard for the links and the references you want to use? That we use the same?
Yes, APA. I was using APA, but I put the example here that is simple. And even with artificial intelligence, if you say you want the reference with APA, he does it no problem. That is, as you see here, when it's a link, when there is a link, or you are making a reference to a web page, the there is a way, and when you are, is in this case, there is no reference to an article. But in the other module, for example, in the module 3, here, I think it's easier to understand because here, yes, there is the surname, the year, the name of the article you are talking about. This is the APA, Marcus. Okay.
But I think, Loida, if you put all the references, as you say, in ChatGPT, and you say, I want this organized by APA, ChatGPT does.
Yes, this is what I
know.
was saying. That,
Yeah.
that probably even in Word you have a here. I think yes, you have references. There is a ¿cómo se dice pestaña? Se me ha ido. Well, you have a folder that is called references, and you can introduce references with APA too. But in artificial intelligence is enough.
It's okay. Thank you.
Okay, and module 5 here, pre-production is already prepared too. Here, we are not specialists, Marcus and Alexander, so we have done the best we can, okay? We have defined the objectives, the competencies for Specia. The main part, we have divided all the steps of the pre-production. Conclusions. I just put a short test that would explain the next step, that is the production and post-production. And here we can add more exercises, more quizzes. And I was checking yesterday these 2 webs that we were talking about before meetings. Okay. For example, the dev websites I like a lot. And beside that, there is another web that explains how to create a storyboarding for all abilities, and I like a lot too. But if somebody has some other ideas, okay. And what else? And now I am finishing the module 6 and 7, the production and the post-production. That is how shooting the video, the same thing, okay? The competencies are over here. Here I have to put a special other time, okay? Just to check the
This
main.
was module 7, right? Or 6?
6. In every module, there is a part of competencies that in every module that I would rather, because I did it in the first modules, I did it by myself, but I think Jarko and you were the ones who created the competencies, and probably you are going to do better than us because you did it. So in this, you review the 3 first modules, Mina, that you already did it, and with the other modules, it's just this part of competencies that you choose the best one. And I put the number and to follow the same guide that you created with the number and the text.
Yeah, I have to take a look at the whole guide before I can decide which ones to take off, because there are too many overlaps. So you were saying right that we have to choose the best ones for exactly this part of the project.
Yeah. Or even if you want, we can do an online meeting, just you and me and Jarko and Miguel.
Yeah, we can do that later on. Yeah.
Okay.
That would be a good idea.
And nothing else is you have to. I have introduced in every folder the information, the relevant information that you have that we had in that you have been uploading. If there is something that is not in the right or you observe that there is some document that is lost or whatever, please let me know. And the module 7, I am doing it, 7 and 8. But one thing, Alexander, the module 9 and 10, do we need to finish it before? Yes, no? Or because for example,
Yeah, the module 10 I have to write. I just didn't get to it, but I can write it. I know what I want to write.
okay, and the 9, we finish up to the 9, no? And you do the 10.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I am going to finish 8, 9.
For the module 9, and so for these modules, I advise to read the guide from the DigiVet project I have sent you.
Okay.
Because there it's explained. It will not be enough to copy and paste, because here we of course have different learners. The other one was written for SME, but the main principles are quite similar. And I have to look it up also for the persona method. I think Marcos knows it. We have the guideline from the Unilectio project, so there is material on several of the elements in this module here, and the main thing will to rethink it from the perspective of special needs learners.
Perfect. So, and another thing, Alexander is very interested. Well, everybody it's very important that everybody that want to upload a graphic or an image or whatever, please, it has to be easily translated later. And if we copy a graphic, is not as a picture, then we cannot translate. Okay, so it would be better if we do in an easy way. If we put an image or a picture or whatever without letters, okay, and later on we add the letters. Jarko.
Yeah, thank you. I agree exactly when we were thinking about one picture yesterday. But now when we went through these all the modules, was it okay so that when we make the detailed program, more detailed program for Finland, so the institution which is in charge of each module, like we decided in Alicante, could present like in the mornings of these subjects in Finland. For example, we have this module 2, so we will present the biggest findings in the one morning in Helsinki about that subject. So is that okay? So when each of our institution has written some of those modules mainly, so that institution could like briefly present the findings in Helsinki, and we could do like detailed program according to this idea or writings of the guidebook. Is it okay?
Yeah, and I was thinking, Alexander, perfect, Jarko, and I was thinking that we could create a folder in every module just to put the pictures, graphics, and whatever thing. And close to the picture, we can put exactly in what number of the module goes, for example, 2.1, and then it's easier for Miguel and me to copy and paste this image inside the final document. Do you think it's okay or no? It's just putting the graphics not inside the document, but outside. And we just put where this image, this picture or this graphic. Okay.
You don't think it's not gonna be more confused for you? I mean,
Sí, ¿tú crees? Okay. Yes.
it's very difficult.
It's very difficult. Okay, so put it inside the document. Okay.
And Jarko is right, because what Jarko says is maybe every single partner we can do like in the morning in Finland, as the program is, to make the presentation of the modules. I mean,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
So
Yes.
maybe it's good if you say, okay, Mina and Jarko, you've been working a lot in the module 2, so you have to make the presentation that day, because otherwise, no, maybe if you can.
Yes, we divide the work.
Every partner to do the presentation, and then we can prepare
the module. Yes.
The presentation, the PowerPoint.
Okay, so I have
Can we-
here who do
do
the
we have-
presentation. A ver.
Sorry, do we have time to take a look at the program before we end this meeting? Because I think it's quite important that we really know who is going to do and who is going to talk on what, about what.
Okay, so Mina, do you want I go module by module or?
No, it's just, Loida, what I'm thinking is, for example, if Alexander was in charge doing the module 1, for example, so Alexander has to do a presentation, for a quickly presentation about the module 1 for Finland.
Yes, I'm going to put it here in instructions, where package 3 coordination, that is this document, is the first document. I am going to put here who does the presentation. For example, of the module 1, Alexander. Okay. Presentation.
Yeah, sounds good.
And,
I mean, what we discussed last time was that the program should be quite interactive. So I think what each module leader needs to do is to quickly present the module, but mainly do some kind of suggestion for an interactive exercise about the content of the module. And in the end, we said we want to work on really creating some videos in small work groups. Yeah, so it has to be joined together in a way that in the end we have some videos. Yeah, so I suggest to make a kind of a quite comprehensive workflow for the meeting with a realistic time planning, where we have, let's say, half an hour for the presentation of the module, then half an hour for giving instructions for the interactive exercise, and then have work groups who actually produce something, so that in the end we have we have some videos. So first we find some work processes, we create some persona of potential beneficiaries, then we put ourselves in the shoes of these beneficiaries, then we do a kind of selection of which work process we want to show, then we do a storyboard, then we do the actual shooting, then we do the post-production, and then maybe we think in the end, we think about some ideas, some examples of usage or misusage of Telegram or YouTube or something like that. So we have something in our end, but we really worked with the content and not only did one presentation after the other of the modules.
Definitely not. We are not. We haven't planned it that way. I think it would be very important that we take a look at the program that we have created before, and we can do the exact timetable for each. And then there is one problem about. You said that module by module, we would have somebody who presents that. That's okay. But then we have some parts that don't belong to any particular module, that actually belong to all the modules. And now I'm talking about the competencies, for example. I don't know if there are some else as well. maybe UDL, or maybe it does belong to the accessibility. I don't know where it belongs, but it belongs to all these things actually. So, how are we going to do with those? Who is going to present those, or are they inside the module, and will they be repeated in every single module or so? So we really have to take a look at the program before we decide on this.
Okay, what I think is if we don't have too much time, probably it would be good if Miguel and me present all the modules in a short, well, Miguel is not going to be in the meeting, but I present all the modules in a short, in half hour or less, okay? And then we start working, as Alexander said, in every module. The part that is transversal in all modules are the competencies, Mina. So it's just that part, the one you have to fill up. And we could review all these modules during this week, and we do a short meeting where we decide who can help in the different modules and in the different parts of the modules. If somebody can put some other example or more references or graphics, you feel free to add it, okay?
Okay, I was just wondering who was in the beginning, who was really responsible for this whole program? I mean, for the whole process of doing this thing. Who was responsible? Was it you, or was it?
Yes,
I don't remember exactly.
As Mina, the old CIDA, okay, and now we are DEFP. We are responsible of developing these modules. But as always, even there is a coordinator, but normally all together have to work in everything because everyone is specialized in something
Yes,
different.
of course, yes.
So
I didn't remember exactly how it was.
Because of that, we can do all the presentation in less than half hour, and then we can work in a practical way in the most relevant modules, because, for example, the 1 and 2 probably is not very practical, but the pre-production, production, and post-production, there we have to do some work, practical work. For example, making some videos or recordings. So
yes, can we really take a look at the program? Jarkko, could you show us the program?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
If it's okay. Yeah.
Do I stop sharing?
It's better if we check the program. I've got it here with me, and yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll open it here. Well.
So that we are not going to do the same thing again. So.
Just a second. Oh. Yes, maybe first here. Okay, maybe.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah. So we were thinking. Let's see. Yeah. We were thinking so that mainly in the mornings we will go through certain modules, but the thing that, for example, on Tuesday when we have modules of making the videos and those things, so we apply the same things in the afternoons in small groups, so that we have this whole process of making video within 3 afternoons, and then we on Friday share the findings and reflect how the process went and what to change maybe in the guide, and we divide it like for the afternoons small groups like we were a little bit discussing. So I will send this proposal so that there are always like 3 persons in a small group, and they small groups work together in the afternoons. And we were thinking about Markus, because you are most familiar of this video making process. Would it be okay if you facilitate of these afternoons? So how much time we should put like in the planning and storyboard, and how much time we should put on actually shooting the videos, and how much to edit, so that it is kind of like a feasible time frame in the afternoons. But this was our idea, so that we discuss the findings of the guides and share the ideas, and maybe some interactions also, of course, in the mornings, but mainly the process goes during the afternoons in these small groups.
Ay, no dejo mi teléfono en el baño, tío, de chicas.
And then in the morning, we do have quite a lot of time, so we can have some interactive exercises there as well. For example, when we are trying to create personas, etc., so we can have them already there. I was just thinking about the Monday. There are modules 1 through 3. If it's a bit too heavy, I don't know. I don't remember exactly. 2 is about accessibility. What is 3 about? I don't remember what it was about.
Maybe Minna, now when we decided some more in this meeting, maybe we could make now a more detailed plan. But Markus, how does it sound if you could facilitate these afternoons, like when we make the actual process from the beginning and until the end, so that we have something to show on Friday? So you had these excellent guides, and you have made these videos already. So we were thinking with Minna, so that you are the most like experienced of this process. So
I think it's okay if we have these 2 hours in a group work, and I think it should
3 hours,
it should be okay to use Tuesday to make the storyboards, the ideas, and then on Wednesday to make the post-production after shooting the video. I think the most interesting part it's really the storyboards, and to do it together. And I think it's the most you can learn the most if you plan the storyboards together in the group, and then the post-production. I think we can try. We should have a program what we use, and then every group can do it. But I think 2 hours is okay for
okay.
Yeah, thank you. And then we were thinking, so could we have one more, let's say, Teams meeting next week or so that we all go together, but then we have these breakout rooms, so that each small group can talk about who is taking different role of student, and who is like shooting, who is editing, and so on. What I sent in the email about these tentative roles. So could it be possible so that we have one meeting now, and there we use breakout rooms, so that we divide the small rooms in the big meeting, but then we can chat and still go together after the breakout rooms? What do you think?
And what do you think about the groups? Are they okay? Do you want to change?
Yeah, this is just
Who is Maria? Who is Maria?
Marta, is Marta. Nuria.
Marta, sorry.
No, but in Germany?
Yeah.
Maria,
Germany.
it's
Marta as well. Vale. Okay.
it's one of our teachers.
Okay. And Marta, Marta is there. Yeah. Okay.
No? Pues me lo dejan extraño.
And Alexander, it was so that we maybe know last minute, just in case if there is
Igual,
somebody from
no te
with
preocupes.
you from Sovibefo.
Yeah, I would rather think not,
Okay.
but it would be a pleasant surprise. But unfortunately, I think she will be busy.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
maybe I'm still looking for someone, but it's pretty tight right now.
Okay. Yeah. Then we think a little bit like further with Minna about yeah.
Mm. Maybe we can have groups of 3, 4 in some cases, but it's no, I don't know. It's too many.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
let's Minna make like tentative plan now after we have discussed. So
And Sida is going to be the presenting the modules, or
I have a question. How many people, students? The students are gonna be in the afternoon, no? In the center, so we wanna work with them, no? Or no?
no, actually we don't have any students. So one of the small group acts like a student, and the small group could decide the student persona profile if you focus
okay,
on
okay.
deaf or blind
I
people
understand.
or
I
what kind
understand. Okay. So one of the groups, they're gonna be the students, let's say. Another is gonna be the teachers. No, we're gonna do the training with us. No, not with the proper students. So okay.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have students now. It's holiday week.
Okay, Alexander, what do you think about the program? For me, it's fine. Do you
Yeah,
think?
it's fine.
Okay. And don't worry about the modules, because the modules, for example, module 10, I think is doing all the project. I mean, it's about the social media and all this stuff. So if, for example,
Yeah, I will do a small presentation and try to have a text until the meeting or even next week. So just as a suggestion, I have the material. It's more like you giving feedback what's really the relevant situations for your students. So what actually are they using in social media also, and where do you have the feeling that they access problematic stuff or are very irritated and so on. So the general things about misinformation on the internet and which stuff you can trust or not. We have done workshops on that, and I will put it in a module, and then it's about you to say a bit about the concrete situation in your institution or with your students.
Sounds great. One more thing. What do you think? Is it okay for all of us so that we have lunch at 1 o'clock? So that was like the restaurant next door. They were telling that if we are bigger group, let's say about 10 people, so we have more space, but there is definitely enough food. So it's a little bit late lunch for Finnish people, but what do you think?
For us, it's okay.
For us, it's early, but it's okay.
Okay. Okay,
late.
then it's
It's a
perfect.
bit late for me, but I can take my meatballs with me. So
Yeah.
Jarko, one thing I would like to know, because every morning somebody has to present, for example, from module 1 to 3, one person has to present the module. Do you want you, Mina, and me meet we do create an online meeting, and we decide who is going to present the group of modules every day?
Yeah, or if it's easier, I don't know. So when you put down some names of or institutes for each module, if every topic has this about half hour to present, and then interaction, whatever is like good for interaction and preparing for our actual process that we this is kind of the
Okay, so I can do that if you want. I always present the module in 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and then we interact, or whatever you want. But let me know for.
I think everybody will have to participate, you know.
I think so too. Yeah.
It's gonna be easy because we have, I mean, the PowerPoint carátula. I don't know how to say in English. I mean, in Trello, I think my colleagues did the template. Sorry, yes, the template of PowerPoint. I think if you split the work, you don't have to do like 10 presentations, you know.
Yeah.
And after the presentation, we can speak about the module. If the module, for example, has all the content or is good, or we have to modify something or not, and then do more interactive, you know. I mean, we have better to work in group, no?
So nobody present. We just what I can do is open the drive. We see what the module has, and we. There is not necessarily a presentation because there is already an index in every module. And what we can do in the workshop in Finland is the first day we review from 1 to 3, the second day from 4 to 5, and that's all. And we don't need to do more work. Okay, we just open the drive and review the modules if you want.
Yeah, I think there should be some kind of a presentation by the authors because I mean we probably the core partnership, we have gone through it and read it and read the modules from the partners, but particularly our guests, they I think will not have gone through all of the material, and it's a bit user unfriendly if we do not try to be a bit didactic and speak about it. I think so I think we should have some kind of
presentation
introduction, or it doesn't necessarily have to be a PowerPoint or something, but just to speak about it. What's the relevance? What are the individual steps and so on. So not just open the drive and look at it, but have some kind of attractive presentation.
I think Loida, what you suggested in the beginning, that we all have one module that we present that we have been working on most, like we have number 2. That was a good idea, I think.
Okay, so I will write down.
Quickly go through them.
Okay, I will write down in the drive who does the presentation during the workshops in Finland, and if somebody has some problem, you can send an email to me and I can change it. Okay, for example, from module 1 and 2, Marcus and Alexander are the ones who were working. Module 1. Module 2, Mina and Jarko. Module 3, we were working on it, but whoever, because I think we should focus on the pre-production, production, and post-production. That is what. But well, I will write down who I think would be the right partner to present for everybody to participate. And if somebody want to change or whatever, please let me know. Okay.
And I think it's really enough for every module 10 to 15 minutes, that we don't have so much time in presentations.
Yes.
Then we can do the work in the groups, and maybe at the end of the afternoon session, we can do a little reflection of the learning of the day, because I think if we wait until to the Friday, then some thinking and some work it's not be present to Friday. So it'd be better to come together every day and do a little reflection.
Okay.
Sounds very good. Yeah, thank you. You are
Okay.
very good facilitator already. Thank you.
Okay, so I think mostly this is all. Now we have to work and we can meet again probably next Friday or when it's okay for you. For example, next Friday at 10 in the morning.
For me,
Uh,
it's fine.
I'm out of office on Friday, but
And ours, we have a special day on Friday.
okay,
next
yeah,
week,
yeah,
so it's not
teachers
possible.
are occupied.
Yeah.
And on Thursday. Espera, ¿nosotros tenemos reunión, Miguel? Mírame a ver.
Mm,
On Thursday, for example, 11 o'clock would be fine for us. 11 our time, that's 10 yours.
mm.
Jueves a las 11. Ok, jueves a las 11 is
Marcus, can you do it at 11? Yeah, for me it's fine as well. The Thursday, yes, at 11. Yes, everybody can do it.
It's 10 your time.
10
10
for
your
us.
time.
Okay. Ah, yes, it's fine.
10, then at 10, okay. We can do it at 10, no problem. It's the 3rd of October at 10.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay.
Sorry, Nuria, is there breakout rooms here in Google Meets? I was just thinking if during the meeting we for a little while make small groups already to talk a little bit about roles and so on, but I'm not familiar with Google Meet. So is it so that we will send Teams or Loida, is it so that you use?
You mean you mean
Yes, in Teams.
to make the meeting in Google Teams instead of Meets?
Yeah, just in case, because in Teams it's possible to separate all of us into small groups for a little while. So is it so that, Loida, you could send the Teams link? Do you use breakout rooms sometimes so that there are?
Okay, I do it and then we can meet in little groups. Yes,
Yeah.
That's a great idea, Jarko.
But then we use the 3rd of October also for the talk in the small groups. Jaco,
yes. I was thinking so that you get a little bit familiar and you get decide a little bit about the roles and what is like the main idea to shoot. If okay, it's a little bit a short time there, but exactly it's preparation for teamworks.
It's perfect. Thank you. Yes.
I cannot find any groups here, so maybe it's not possible in Google Meets.
Okay, yeah, but if
no, but in Teams, yes, in Teams we can do little groups. Okay, so I will try it before. I create the link, and I am going to work hard for.
Sorry, there is a possibility. I found it. It's where you have the square and where you have the, well, we can do Teams anyway, but there is a possibility here as well. I found it. It's on the right corner down there. You can find it.
Yes, work groups. Yes, here.
Yeah.
I found it too. Well, we can just meet if you want, whatever you feel like.
Teams is easier for us.
Teams is easier for you. Okay, then Teams. I don't care. Whatever.
Okay.
Good. So, well, I'm going to try. I'm going to try to finish as much as I can with Miguel, and next week you can start reviewing everything. And we haven't introduced the pictures because we didn't want to confuse you with more things, but now we will introduce pictures. But Marcus, probably you have better graphics and pictures because you are working with this kind of students. So you are so nice of introducing some good graphic that we can translate easily to different languages. so
I
that
can do
we
it. Yeah, and I can make a suggestion what we can use and what it's easy to use also if we want to use it on the internet and in our text.
And if you think it's okay, Marcus, I hope next Thursday we will have finished more or less the big guide, not finished, but unless well structured, and then we could send you something, a draft of the short guide for you to be able to translate it to an easy language.
Yeah. I can do that, but it has to be really short because it gets longer if we translate it in easy language.
Okay.
I have to say that as you want the text to be translated and processed by ChatGPT, for example, the first version of the guide won't be too fancy, won't have many colors, won't have backgrounds. It will be just raw text and structure, maybe bold, italic, something like that, but don't expect nothing very, very cool yet, okay? It will, yeah, just to work with the text. In the final version, yes, we can add anything we want. When we have the summary and we have the translations, we can add everything we want. But for now, to work easily with the text, it will be very, very simple, okay?
Okay. So thanks and see you next week.
Thank you.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks a
Bye.
lot for being there.
Bye.
Marta, si quieres. ¿Estás ahí? Ah, sí.
Sí, sí,
Ah, hola. Sí.
Cambiamos al español. Si quieres, bueno, pues la semana que viene, por no entretenerte más tiempo hoy, te explico un poco todo.